Stop for a moment, because what you are about to hear was never meant to reach you this early. There is a hidden movement happening behind the scenes of your life, and strangely, it connects to someone your heart already feels tied to. You may think this story is about secrets, investigations, or hidden conversations in dark rooms, but no. This is about protection. About destiny moving quietly while you were distracted by ordinary days. Listen carefully. Your soulmate has been carrying information they never fully explained. Not because they wanted to deceive you, but because they were waiting for the right moment to reveal why certain events around you suddenly began changing. Have you noticed it? The strange timing? The unexpected distance between you and certain people? The way some dangerous energy disappeared from your path without explanation? That was not random. Someone has been watching over the road ahead of you. Quietly. Strategically. Carefully. And the truth is far deeper than you realize. There is a reason your soulmate became connected to people who work in silence, people trained to notice what others ignore. But this connection is not what fear would make you imagine. No, this is about uncovering truths hidden beneath appearances. Your soulmate began noticing patterns long before you did. Small details. Conversations that did not make sense. Energy around you that felt wrong. At first, they ignored it. They told themselves they were overthinking. But every sign kept pointing back toward you. Pause here for a second and think. What if someone loved you enough to quietly protect your future before you even understood the danger surrounding your path? That question changes everything. Because while you were trying to heal, grow, and move forward, your soulmate was learning things that shook them deeply. Certain people around you were not who they pretended to be. Some smiled in front of you while secretly hoping your confidence would collapse. Some celebrated your dreams publicly while privately doubting your rise. And somehow, your soulmate kept finding themselves close to information they were never supposed to hear. Not by accident. Almost as if life itself placed them there. But wait, this next part matters more than you think. Your soulmate never wanted power. They never wanted control over your story. Yet circumstances kept pulling them into situations where hidden truths surfaced naturally. A casual conversation revealed one secret. An unexpected meeting exposed another. Piece by piece, they started understanding why your spirit always felt restless around certain people. And once they saw it clearly, they could not unsee it. This is why their energy toward you changed recently. Why their silence sometimes feels heavier than words. Why they observe more than they speak. They are carrying knowledge they are afraid might overwhelm you if revealed too quickly. Still here? Good. Because the deepest part has not arrived yet. Your soulmate discovered that your life is moving toward a major turning point, one connected to purpose, visibility, and transformation. But whenever someone is about to rise, hidden forces often try to create confusion first. Not dramatic danger. Not chaos. Just subtle distractions. Delays. Emotional fog. The kind that slowly makes people forget who they truly are. Your soulmate saw this happening around you. And quietly, they decided to step closer instead of walking away. Not everyone would do that. Many people disappear when life becomes complicated. Many choose comfort over loyalty. But your soulmate? They stayed curious about your truth even when the situation became emotionally heavy. Even when certain answers frightened them. even when they realized protecting your future might require silence for a while. And this silence is what has been confusing you. Because part of you feels them pulling closer emotionally, while another part feels unexplained distance. One moment their energy feels warm, the next moment mysterious. That contradiction is not fake. It is the weight of someone carrying unfinished revelations. You are approaching the moment where hidden pieces finally begin connecting. But before that happens, there is something you must understand tonight. Not every secret is meant to harm you. Sometimes the truth hides because timing matters. Sometimes answers arrive slowly because your spirit needs time to grow strong enough to handle what comes next. And sometimes, destiny uses unusual paths to bring two people together for reasons bigger than romance alone. Your soulmate is beginning to realize that meeting you was never ordinary. It was assignment level rare. And somewhere deep inside, they know the truth they uncovered will eventually change both of your lives forever. But wait. Before the full picture appears, one final hidden detail still remains buried. And once it surfaces, nothing between you will feel accidental anymore. Something unusual is happening tonight, can you feel it? Not in the outside world, but deep beneath your thoughts. A shift. A quiet rearranging of pieces you could never fully explain before. Because the closer your soulmate gets to revealing the truth, the more your past suddenly starts making sense. Think about the people who disappeared from your life unexpectedly. The opportunities that collapsed at the last second. The strange feeling that someone, somewhere, knew more about your journey than they ever admitted. None of those moments were meaningless. Your soulmate began connecting those fragments one by one, and what they uncovered left them speechless. There were conversations happening around you that you were never supposed to hear. Not dangerous conversations, but revealing ones. Discussions filled with assumptions about your future. Opinions about your potential. Quiet judgments about who you would become. And strangely enough, your soulmate kept ending up close to these hidden truths. At first, they tried convincing themselves it was coincidence. But coincidence does not repeat itself this many times. Coincidence does not pull someone toward information that perfectly explains another person's emotional battles. Yet every road somehow led back to you. Stay with this part carefully. Because this is where everything changes. Your soulmate realized that certain people underestimated you completely. They looked at your present circumstances and assumed your future would stay small. They mistook your silence for weakness. Your patience for uncertainty. Your kindness for lack of awareness. But your soulmate saw something different. They saw someone evolving. Someone preparing for a future bigger than the current version of life surrounding them. And once they recognized that truth, they became fiercely protective of your energy. Not controlling. Protective. There is a difference. That is why they began paying attention to details others ignored. They noticed patterns in people's behavior. They listened more carefully during conversations. They quietly learned how to recognize hidden intentions without creating unnecessary conflict. In many ways, it felt like your soulmate accidentally stepped into a world where truth matters more than appearances. And the deeper they went, the harder it became to pretend nothing was happening. But here is the part nobody expects. The more your soulmate uncovered about you, the more they started changing themselves too. Because protecting someone's destiny requires maturity. Awareness. Discipline. It forces a person to become emotionally stronger than they were before. And your soulmate has been transforming in silence because of this connection with you. Have you noticed how different they feel lately? More focused. More observant. Almost like they are carrying an invisible responsibility they cannot explain openly yet. That feeling is real. And there is one memory replaying inside their mind constantly right now. A specific moment when they realized your connection was not casual. Maybe it was something simple you said. Maybe it was the way you handled pain without becoming bitter. Maybe it was the strange calm they felt around you while the rest of their world felt noisy. Whatever it was, it marked them permanently. From that moment forward, they stopped seeing you as temporary. And this frightened them more than they expected. Because once someone realizes another soul is deeply tied to their future, fear naturally appears. Fear of losing them. Fear of timing going wrong. Fear that hidden truths might complicate everything before the connection fully blossoms. Your soulmate has been carrying those fears quietly. But listen closely now. Fear is not winning anymore. Something inside them is becoming stronger than hesitation. Stronger than confusion. Stronger than the need to hide everything behind silence. They are beginning to understand that truth delayed too long eventually creates distance, and they do not want distance from you anymore. This is why subtle signs have started appearing around your connection recently. Unexpected synchronicities. Repeated thoughts about each other. Moments where you suddenly feel their energy for no reason. Even dreams that feel strangely vivid. These are not random emotional accidents. They are signals that the hidden phase of this connection is slowly ending. And when the truth finally surfaces, you will realize something shocking. Your soulmate was never working against your life. They were quietly trying to clear the path ahead of it. Before this story continues, take this moment with you. Some people enter your life to distract you from your destiny. Others arrive to protect it. And your soulmate is beginning to reveal which one they truly are. If this message found you at the exact right moment, leave a comment below with the word aligned. Sometimes even a single word confirms that your spirit is paying attention. And if this story is resonating deeply with you, stay connected, because the next part reveals the hidden conversation your soulmate never thought you would discover. There is a sentence your soulmate heard recently that they cannot erase from their mind, and the moment you understand why, everything about this connection will feel different. Listen carefully. The conversation was never supposed to become personal. It began casually, almost forgettable. A few quiet words exchanged in a place filled with noise and distraction. But then your name surfaced unexpectedly, and the entire atmosphere shifted. Suddenly, people who barely understood you started speaking as if they had already decided your future. Some doubted your potential. Some questioned your direction. Some assumed you would remain exactly where you are now. And your soulmate sat there silently, hearing every word. But something inside them refused to agree. Because they have seen the version of you that nobody else notices. The version hidden beneath exhaustion, pressure, and temporary setbacks. They know there is a force inside you that keeps rebuilding itself no matter how many times life becomes heavy. That realization changed everything for them. In that moment, your soulmate understood they could no longer stand at a distance pretending this connection was ordinary. They saw clearly that protecting someone's future is not always dramatic. Sometimes it simply means refusing to let false narratives define them. And quietly, your soulmate chose your side. Not publicly. Not loudly. But deeply. You may not realize this yet, but there are moments when someone believes in your future before you fully believe in it yourself. Those moments become turning points in destiny. They create invisible momentum. They shift energy behind the scenes. And that is exactly what happened here. Your soulmate began defending your name in rooms you never entered. Correcting misunderstandings without needing credit. Watching carefully who celebrated your growth, and who secretly felt uncomfortable when you started evolving. Because growth reveals people. Always. The strange part is that this hidden journey started transforming your soulmate emotionally in ways they never expected. They entered this situation thinking they were simply observing truths around you. But slowly, they realized the deeper truth was about themselves. You awakened something inside them. A level of loyalty they had never felt before. A desire to protect instead of escape. A connection that felt impossible to explain logically. And honestly, it scared them. Because people can hide attraction. They can hide curiosity. But they cannot easily hide soul recognition. That kind of connection changes the atmosphere around two people completely. Maybe that explains why you have felt emotionally pulled toward them lately even during silence. Why random memories suddenly appear in your mind. Why certain songs, places, or late-night thoughts feel connected to someone you cannot fully forget. Your spirit already senses the truth before your mind catches up. But wait, because the next revelation matters most. Your soulmate recently discovered one final piece of information that confirmed everything they had been feeling about you. It was not evidence of danger. Not scandal. Not chaos. It was something far more powerful. Potential. They realized your future is much bigger than your current environment allows you to see. And suddenly, every strange event surrounding your connection began making sense. The delays. The misunderstandings. The emotional distance followed by intense closeness. It was all preparing both of you for a moment of truth neither of you were emotionally ready for before now. Because timing changes people. A connection revealed too early can collapse under pressure. But a connection protected through silence becomes stronger with time. Your soulmate finally understands this. That is why they stopped rushing answers. Stopped forcing conversations. Stopped trying to explain everything immediately. They are waiting for the right moment. And that moment is approaching faster than either of you realize. Very soon, hidden emotions will become impossible to disguise. Hidden intentions will become visible. Hidden truths will rise naturally into the light without force. And when that happens, you will finally understand why this entire journey felt so mysterious from the beginning. Because it was never only about romance. It was about alignment. Two lives being prepared separately before colliding at exactly the right time. So before you leave tonight, remember this one thing. Not every person sent into your life arrives to take from you. Some arrive carrying pieces of clarity you were missing. Some arrive to help protect the future version of you that is still unfolding. And your soulmate? They may have entered your life quietly, but the truth they are hiding is becoming too powerful to stay hidden much longer. You were not supposed to find this message tonight, and yet somehow, here you are again. That alone should tell you something. Because the closer this story moves toward the truth, the more impossible it becomes to ignore the strange timing surrounding your connection. There is something your soulmate has been replaying over and over inside their mind lately. A moment involving you that looked completely ordinary on the surface, but felt unforgettable to them internally. Maybe you smiled without realizing they were watching. Maybe you spoke honestly when everyone else was pretending. Maybe you revealed pain without trying to gain sympathy. Whatever it was, that moment stayed with them. Not for hours. Not for days. For far longer than they expected. And that is when they realized the hidden truth was never just about information, secret conversations, or quiet investigations into people's intentions around you. No, the real truth was much more personal than that. They were falling emotionally deeper than they planned to. And suddenly, everything became complicated. Because protecting your heart is easy when emotions are distant. But once feelings become real, every decision feels heavier. Every silence feels louder. Every hidden truth becomes harder to carry alone. That is the phase your soulmate is in right now. Trying to balance logic with emotion. Trying to stay careful while secretly wanting to tell you everything. Trying to appear calm while internally feeling pulled toward you stronger each day. And the strange thing is, you may already sense this without physical proof. Energy speaks before words do. That explains why your intuition keeps returning to them unexpectedly. Why their presence lingers in your thoughts even during busy moments. Why part of you feels like something important is approaching even if nothing visible has happened yet. Because something is approaching. A conversation. A realization. A moment where silence finally becomes impossible to maintain. But before that happens, there is one final layer your soulmate has not shown anyone. They have been questioning their own path recently. Questioning whether everything they once chased truly matters anymore. Because after meeting you, certain things started feeling empty to them. Fake connections. Surface-level conversations. People who only appear during convenient moments. Your soulmate began seeing through all of it. And strangely, you became the person who made them crave something real instead. That realization changed their entire emotional world. This is why they became more selective with people recently. More protective of their peace. More focused on long-term purpose instead of temporary distractions. They are evolving quietly, and your connection became the trigger for that transformation. Still listening? Good. Because this next part matters deeply. Your soulmate knows there are truths they cannot delay much longer. Not because secrets are exciting, but because honesty creates alignment. And alignment is exactly where this connection is heading now. No more confusion. No more half-hidden emotions. No more pretending this bond is casual. The walls around this situation are slowly collapsing. And once they do, you will finally understand why so many strange events unfolded exactly the way they did. Every delay protected timing. Every mystery strengthened awareness. Every emotional twist forced both of you to grow stronger before stepping fully into each other's lives. Nothing was random. Not even this moment right now. Somewhere tonight, your soulmate is thinking about you more intensely than usual. Wondering if you feel the same pull. Wondering if destiny is already preparing the path for the next chapter between you. And honestly, The answer may already be unfolding faster than either of you expected. So hold on to this final thought before the next part arrives. Sometimes the universe hides the truth temporarily, not to punish you, but to prepare you for a reality greater than your current understanding. And very soon, the hidden truth your soulmate carried in silence may finally become the beginning of everything you were waiting for. If this message connected with something deep inside you, subscribe and stay close to this journey. And leave a comment sharing the one word your intuition keeps repeating lately, because the next chapter reveals the moment your soulmate almost confessed everything but stopped at the last second. Late last night, your soulmate almost said everything. Not part of the truth. Not a small hint. Everything. And what stopped them was not fear of rejection, it was the realization that once certain words are spoken, life can never return to what it was before. There was a moment, quiet, unexpected, almost invisible to the outside world, where they stared at a message, a memory, or even your name appearing unexpectedly, and their entire emotional wall cracked for a second. Because carrying hidden feelings becomes exhausting after a while. Especially when those feelings are tied to someone who keeps appearing in your thoughts no matter how hard you try to stay logical. Your soulmate has reached that point. The point where silence no longer feels safe. The point where pretending this connection is just coincidence feels impossible. And deep down, they know you feel it too. Have you noticed how your intuition has become louder recently? Not dramatic. Just persistent. A strange inner knowing. An emotional signal that something unfinished between you is slowly moving toward the surface. That feeling is real. Because while you were trying to make sense of confusing emotions, your soulmate was privately replaying every moment that brought them closer to you. The conversations that felt different. The eye contact that lasted slightly too long. The strange comfort they felt around you even during stressful times. None of those moments disappeared for them. In fact, they became evidence. Proof that this connection was evolving into something far deeper than either of you originally expected. But here is where the hidden story becomes even more surprising. Your soulmate recently realized that protecting your future was never only about watching situations carefully or recognizing hidden intentions around you. It was also about becoming the kind of person worthy of standing beside you long term. That realization changed them. Completely. They started questioning old habits. Old friendships. Old versions of themselves. Because meeting the right person does not only create romance, sometimes it awakens evolution. Sometimes it forces people to grow beyond the emotional patterns that once kept them stuck. And your soulmate is transforming because of you in ways they have not fully admitted aloud yet. Pause here for a moment and think about that. What if the connection you were doubting is actually changing two lives simultaneously behind the scenes? What if every confusing delay was secretly building emotional maturity first? Suddenly, everything feels different when you look at it from that perspective. And now, your soulmate stands emotionally at a crossroads. One path leads back toward silence, distance, and unfinished feelings. The other path leads toward honesty, vulnerability, and finally revealing what they have hidden for so long. You already know which direction their heart is pulling them toward. Because no matter how carefully they try to stay composed, their energy betrays them now. The way they react to your presence. The way their attention shifts toward you naturally. The way they remember small details about you that most people forget instantly. Those are not random behaviors. Those are signs of emotional attachment becoming impossible to hide. And here is the part your soulmate has not confessed to anyone. They are beginning to fear losing a future with you more than they fear revealing the truth. That changes everything. Because once someone reaches that emotional stage, honesty becomes inevitable. Not forced. Not dramatic. Just unavoidable. The truth always rises eventually. Always. That is why the atmosphere around this connection feels so intense lately. Why your spirit keeps sensing movement beneath the surface. Why even periods of silence between you somehow feel emotionally loud. A revelation is approaching. Not chaos. Not destruction. Clarity. And clarity lives faster than people expect. Soon, hidden emotions will stop hiding. Hidden intentions will stop disguising themselves. And your soulmate will finally understand that the connection they tried to protect quietly was actually preparing both of you for something much greater than temporary attraction. This was never just about mystery. It was about awakening. About two people slowly realizing they were meant to impact each other's lives in ways neither of them fully understood at first. So before tonight ends, remember this carefully. Some truths arrive suddenly. Others move toward you slowly, step by step, until one day you realize destiny has been speaking to you the entire time. And your soulmate? They are closer than ever to finally saying the words that will explain everything. Tonight feels different for a reason. Not because something dramatic happened in the outside world, but because something inside your soulmate finally shifted. Quietly. Permanently. Like a locked door opening after being sealed for far too long. They are tired of pretending this connection does not affect them deeply. Tired of acting unaffected when your energy enters the room. Tired of carrying truths in silence while hoping timing magically explains everything later. Because the reality is this. The closer they move toward their future, the more your presence keeps appearing inside it. And that realization has become impossible for them to escape. Over the past few days, your soulmate has been reflecting on every strange coincidence that led them toward you. Every delay that somehow pushed both of you back together. Every moment where distance should have ended the connection, but somehow strengthened it instead. That is not ordinary. Most temporary connections fade with silence. But this one? It grows louder. Even in distance. Even in uncertainty. Even in moments where neither of you fully understands what is happening yet. And somewhere deep inside, your soulmate finally understands why. Because this connection was never built only on attraction. It was built on recognition. A feeling beyond explanation. The sense that meeting you activated something sleeping inside them for a long time. A higher awareness about who they truly are and what kind of life they actually want to build. That awareness changed the way they see everything now. Especially people. They can no longer tolerate fake energy the way they once did. Conversations without meaning feel exhausting to them. Temporary attention no longer satisfies them. They crave depth now. Truth. Emotional safety. Genuine loyalty. And every path leading toward those things somehow keeps bringing them back to you. Still here? Then hear this carefully. Your soulmate recently had a realization that shook them emotionally harder than any hidden information they uncovered before. It happened during a quiet moment when nobody else was around. Maybe while driving alone. Maybe late at night while staring at old conversations. Maybe while replaying memories they thought they had buried. Suddenly, one truth became undeniable. They do not want a future where you become just a memory. That thought hit them deeply. Because for the first time, they stopped imagining you as a possibility, and started imagining losing you completely. And once someone feels that emotionally, their heart begins making decisions their mind tried avoiding before. That is exactly where your soulmate is now. Standing between fear and confession. Between protection and vulnerability. Between silence, and finally letting you see how much this connection truly means to them. But wait, because this next part matters more than you think. Your soulmate has also realized something about you recently. Something beautiful. Something powerful. You survived things that should have broken your spirit completely. Yet somehow, you still carry softness inside you. You still hope. Still love deeply. Still search for meaning beyond disappointment. That strength inspires them more than they have admitted aloud. And honestly, it is one of the biggest reasons they became emotionally attached to you in the first place. Because people who continue choosing light after darkness carry a rare energy. An unforgettable energy. Your soulmate sees that in you clearly now. That is why they stopped listening to outside opinions. Stopped allowing distractions to influence how they feel. Stopped pretending this bond could simply disappear with time. Because some connections are not designed to disappear. They are designed to awaken people. And yours already has. So now, the hidden truth they carried for so long is reaching its final stage. No more running from emotions. No more hiding behind careful distance. No more acting like fate did not place both of you on each other's path for a reason. A breakthrough is coming. A moment where honesty arrives naturally and changes the emotional direction of everything between you. And when that moment finally happens, you will realize something incredible. Your soulmate was never secretly working against your life. They were quietly becoming the person strong enough to stand beside your future. So take a deep breath before this chapter closes tonight. Because the story you thought was about mystery was actually about transformation all along. Two souls. Two separate journeys. One truth slowly rising into the light exactly when both hearts are finally ready to receive it.